I may have masturbated on a helicopter near several guys, but they didn't see it, so is it gay?
Where did you ejaculate?
Out the window.
There's no way that you ejaculated out the window of a helicopter without anybody knowing.
When you're wearing night vision goggles, it throws your depth perception way off. Hello?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
What's your name? What's going on with you today? What do you want to talk about?
Well, so I had a question. Oh, God, this is going to sound so bad. So, in an unnamed location, I may have masturbated on a helicopter very near several guys. But they didn't see it and they didn't know it happened. So is it gay?
What was the context of being in the helicopter in the first place?
War.
You were fighting in a war.
Yes.
Riding in a helicopter.
Correct.
Masturbating in the helicopter.
Briefly.
Yeah, that's a little gay.
Yeah, but they didn't know. And, like, it wasn't about them. It was just kind of this primal urge, you know?
How are you able to masturbate in a helicopter? A helicopter is like such a compact space. And also, well, okay, were you a soldier?
No. Yes. Military, not soldier.
Okay, you were in, so you were like, you're wearing all this like fucking combat gear. You have an AK-47 strapped to your back, and you somehow find a way to pull your dick out and masturbate?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's several layers, and, you know, granted, not everybody could make that happen. It does take some skill, but, I mean, does that make it less gay because it takes more skill?
Are you still in the Army?
No.
Why?
It just didn't feel right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you in the Army for?
12 years.
What year out of the 12 years was the year that you masturbated in the helicopter?
I plead the fifth.
Where did you ejaculate? Did you ejaculate?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, what's the point if you don't?
Where did you ejaculate?
Just out the window. I mean, probably stuck to the side of the thing because we were flying.
Okay, dude, there's no way in hell that you ejaculated out the window of a helicopter filled with people without anybody knowing. There's just no way that you did that.
Well, so it's going to be hard to explain, but when you're wearing night vision goggles, it throws your depth perception way off. So you can't see anything within 10 feet of you, and your field of view is very restricted. You can only see far out. So,
right,
nobody's looking inside.
So you see everybody wearing night vision goggles, and you go,
well, I mean,
okay.
I was wearing them too.
Oh, you're wearing them too. So, I mean, could you even see your penis then?
No, God, no. You don't need to see your dick to masturbate.
This is crazy that our tax dollars go to this.
Well, you know, it wasn't really... You shouldn't think of it like the tax dollars are paying for masturbation. It was just kind of a symptom of the environment.
How so?
Hard to explain unless you've been there. I'm telling you, I bet somebody in chat has experienced a combat boner.
So you're saying that war makes you horny?
No, not quite. Not in that sense. You can get a physical reaction. You ever heard of a NARB, no apparent reason boner?
Yes. Yeah, I know what that is.
You could have something similar to that, but like, think of being stimulated to the max, but then also you have like the vibrations of a helicopter. I don't know.
So it was the helicopter that made you horny.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're not in the military anymore.
Yeah, me too.
What do you do now?
Little of this, little of that, you know?
That sounds like you do a whole lot more of jacking off.
A lot, Geck. I masturbate a lot, yeah.
Do you do anything? Are you a real person? Are you fucking with me?
No, I actually, I swear, true story.
Okay. Tell me more about combat boners. Why do you think they occur?
I don't know. Like a few people that I talked to have experienced them and acted upon them. Not quite in that manner. Looking back, not the best call. But I just think there's something to do with really tapping into that primal caveman that's inside of all of us. And if you let that guy really get a hold of everything, he's going to want to jerk off, you know? There's no cave woman around to go bring you back to your cave. You're surrounded by guys for a year.
There should be some kind of Call of Duty kill streak reward that just makes the opposing team all get a boner.
Maybe like a tactical boner nuke.
Tactical boner nuke. Do you tell me about your life now? What do you do? And don't say a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I'm trying to not really dox myself here, you know what I mean? But
you've already doxed yourself. You're the guy who masturbated
true.
In a helicopter. That's you.
Yeah, that's true. And
nobody cares about your first and last name. They already know much deeper information about you.
Yeah, I'm a helicopter masturbator. Well, I work at a small shop in a pretty rural area and live a very slow life now.
Okay. Is that enjoyable for you?
No, I fucking hate it.
Why do you hate it?
Trying to figure that out, Geck. Not a whole lot of happiness in life ever since that year.
Okay, so I'm going to guess it was year 12.
No, it was... I think it would have been 10.
Okay, so when you say not a whole lot of happiness since that year, you mean the year that you masturbated in the helicopter?
Yeah, just the whole year surrounding that incident, yeah.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know. Nothing, I think that's kind of the side effect of it is for this year, I feel like you just use up so much of your body's adrenaline. You've just this roller coaster of emotions. You're working days straight. You get a few hour nap. Got to wake up, go on a mission, go. You can never really think of anything, and then you get home. All in the span of like a week, you go from that life to a grinding halt, and everything is slow and nothing's scary, and you're just a normal person again. And that is very difficult to deal with.
So you miss the excitement of warfare?
Yeah, but I don't miss war. It's a double-edged sword, man. And it was a whole pointless war anyway. I don't want to get into that side of things there, but
what war is this? Or what were you in Iraq?
One of the countries that we were in the past 20 years.
Damn, dude. That's the U.S. engaging in biological warfare right there, just coming on another country blatantly.
Do you think they trained me to do that and I didn't even know it?
No. Do you have a family? Do you have friends?
Friends, no family.
Okay. What do you think would make your life more exciting, man?
trying to figure that out too.
How long have you been out of the military for?
A couple of years now.
And the whole time you've just been hanging out in this small town?
For the most part, yeah. Yeah, try to find work after the military is the hardest part.
Did they give you any money? How do they are we at a point where I don't know any of this shit? Are we at a point where, like, if you're a veteran, you get a bunch of money, or do you not get money?
No, you have to do a full. Yeah, if they found out what I did in the helicopter, I mean, for sure not. But
you have to do a full. I mean, you did 12. You have to do a full what? You did 12 years.
You got to do 20 plus.
You got to do 20 plus.
Yeah.
God damn. So, all right, so you just left, and they were like, all right, see you, go work at McDonald's?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you got to turn in some uniforms and stuff, but then when you get out, you can grow facial hair, smoke pot, and get fat.
That's not so bad. You can do that without going into the military. I know that firsthand.
Yeah, nobody really told me that.
Let's see. So, in these past 2 years, have you done anything to make an attempt to spice up your life in any way?
Not really. I think I was just trying to establish my new life, get a house, get a source of income coming, and honestly, for the first year, I was just trying to not kill myself. So that occupied. It's hard to explain. It's just I felt so emotionally neutral that even if you brought me to Six Flags, I would just look at a roller coaster and think it looks boring.
I feel like the old guy from the Six Flags commercials, when he's not at Six Flags, is also actively trying every day not to kill himself.
Good point. Maybe I should dance like him.
Yeah, man. So you come home after a 12-year tour of around the country, and it's a total different environment. You're not around people every single day like you were. You're not as you say go go go, and having your brain and your body are far more idle than they were before, and it drove you fucking crazy.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
So, are you still in? And it's okay if you are. Are you still in this, like, I'm trying every day just to get through the day mode?
No, that got better a bit. Maybe 6 months ago. Quit drinking, quit smoking, quit doing a lot of stuff, just trying to be healthier. And it just takes time. There's nothing you can really do to just turn that ship around in a month. Everything takes time.
Well, I feel like, the go nature, it's really just this idea that for certain people like a slow life, and then there's certain people where if they're not constantly being stimulated and out and about and achieving objectives and doing things, that their brain just goes to dark places when it doesn't have a thing to do.
Yeah, I'm not really like that, Geck. Like I don't really want the go anymore, but I don't really know what I do want. That's kind of the side effect of it. But really, I just keep wishing I could be left the hell alone and go somewhere and not be a slave to the 9 to 5. I didn't know how bad everybody had it out here. This shit sucks.
So you just don't want to be a slave to your 9 to 5?
No, God, no.
Did you save any money over the course of the 12 years?
Oh, Geck, I blew that so hard. Are you kidding me?
What'd you blow it on?
House, and then a car.
I wouldn't consider buying a house to be blowing money.
Yeah, but do we really need houses? You know, I think all the time, what if I didn't have this place? I could get in a van and drive the country or travel the world. I don't know.
How much was the house?
It was cheap. It's a rural area. It was like 239,000, 240,000, something like that.
Buy it in cash?
No, financed a lot of it.
All right. How much money did you put down on the house?
Actually, none. When you're in the military and you do a deployment, you are eligible for a VA home loan, and that's a zero down, low interest rate loan. So it doesn't make a ton of sense to even really put your money up front on it anyway.
Oh, okay. But you have equity in the house.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Could you feasibly rent it out or sell it and use the money to get a van and travel around?
I thought about that, but what happens if the furnace goes out and you're in the middle of nowhere? You know what I mean?
You mean the furnace?
That's your responsibility as the land. I don't want to be a scumbag landlord. If I could rent this place out for just what it cost me and know that I wouldn't have any complications, I would do that. I would never do it for profit.
Okay.
But
what about What about
you have a responsibility for your renter?
What about could you sell the house then and just take the equity and buy a van?
Yes, but what do I do after that, Geck? Let's say I travel for a year or two. You know, I'm not exactly young. You can add it up by the time I was in the military. You get back, you still don't have a job. You probably burned up the money from the equity in your house. You're back at square one.
Yeah. It is true. It is true. We live in a universe where you need to figure out some way to make enough money to eat food and not die.
Yeah. I mean, that's the idea.
How much money do you need to eat food and not die?
Where am I eating?
The bare minimum that you need, that you'd be happy with, but you also won't have to have a job.
I don't know. I'd have to imagine if you're on the road, you can't exactly be preparing all of your meals because you've got restricted space. So it's probably going to be more expensive. Probably more around the $400, $400 a month.
$300 to $400 a month?
If I've never really lived down the road, you know, but I'm just guessing food is more expensive if you're trying to stay traveling. You don't have a full-size fridge and a pantry, you know.
Listen, I don't know. I'm playing Dave Ramsey here because it's fun, but
that's all right.
I don't know, man. I like. Listen, I think you could figure it out, is what I'm saying. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't when you said I blew my money, I thought you meant you spent it all on coke.
No, I mean a little bit on coke for sure. A little bit on acid.
Mm-hmm.
Some fun trips in there, but no.
Have you ever spoke to a real therapist? Do they give you like health insurance and shit?
Yeah, and the first therapist I talked to, the second time she saw me, she said she got moved elsewhere.
Okay.
So then they assigned me to a different one, and then I opened up to her, and then she got transferred. And by the time I got to the third one, I was sick of the system. And then by the time I got to the fourth one, and I opened up to her, she said, "Jesus Christ, I don't know what to say."
So you went through the therapy ringer.
Tried.
All right. Well, again, it sounds like you're doing well. Sounds like you're doing better if you went from I'm trying every day not to kill myself to, you know, I'm doing okay.
Right.
I just don't want to work a job.
Yeah.
That's the default of all people, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, what else, man? What else while I have you on the phone?
I don't know. I didn't really plan past the jerking off in a helicopter. I thought that was kind of going to be the focus of it. We really went a lot deeper there than I pictured.
Yeah, I mean, jerking off in the helicopter.
Pretty
Pretty
fucked up,
funny.
right?
It's pretty funny, but I don't know if we could have talked about it for 20 whole minutes.
No.
Even though we sort of did.
Yeah. Yeah, it pretty small amount of time to talk about it for 20 minutes, but yeah.
You've talked about all these things, and I feel as though we should end this phone call with some form of resolution. You know?
Oh, there's no resolution, Gecko.
There's no resolution of any kind, of anything at all?
Not today, but who's to say what tomorrow brings?
That's a resolution.
Yeah.
That's optimistic.
Yeah, I'll leave you with, I'm not planning to leave us here anytime soon. Not right
great.
Now, anyway.
Great. I would say that's a good resolution.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
I'm not saying that again.
All right. Well, how many times did you tell me over the course of the call?
I think maybe once at the beginning, but
all right.
Whatever.
I'm gonna call you Bruce. Because I could just have everyone tell me to not tell me their names, and we could just all be anonymous. That would be easier for everyone. Bruce, thank you for your service.
Gek, I appreciate you for your service. You're out here.
I was gonna make some joke that alluded back to you jerking off in the helicopter, but I couldn't think of anything quickly enough, so I just sincerely thanked you for your service.
Couldn't come up with a catchy punchline for the inner jerk off, huh?
Nah, you're a cool guy, Bruce. I appreciate you calling. I hope you find something to do with your life that makes you happy. I don't believe that there's no resolution to this. I think that even the mere fact that you are on an upwards trajectory from where you were before and now you have a hope for the future. I think if you just keep tinkering around, hopefully something will catch your interest.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right.
I have a feeling I'll probably find it outside of the country.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Check out, I'm always on Airbnb looking at like Bali. Like, how cheap could I live in Bali or any of these other places? Yeah,
it's pretty incredible. I mean, you have places like the Philippines too, where all the natives speak English and everything costs about a quarter of the price.
Well, Bruce, go jack off in your own bed. You deserve it.
I will, Gek. I will.
Take care.
Love you.
Love you too. This is why I do the podcast, man. You get to talk to all kinds of people about jerking off in all kinds of places.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, this is Lyle.
Yeah, who is this?
Hey, this is Paul.
Paul, what's going on, man?
Hey. Not much. Just sitting here. I was watching Dragon Ball Z till your stream came on, just chilling.
You were watching Dragon Ball Z? What episode of Dragon Ball Z?
Like 3 episodes from the end of the Frieza saga.
I know that it's like the most popular thing ever, but I've actually never watched an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Really? It's almost hard to believe. Like, even if you just watch random cartoons as a kid, you'd see an episode or 2.
Well, I kind of look like a fat version of that one green guy. What's his name?
Oh, there's a few of those. Piccolo? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
People
brought
told me
the
that
Piccolo Gecko cosplay, yeah.
I guess I look like I look like a combination of him and Boo.
Yeah, but a badass version, right?
So, what did you say your name was again?
Paul.
Paul, what do you want to talk about today?
So I guess the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about, just because I thought it was more interesting than my other day-to-day problems, was that I kind of got myself into a situation where I'm part of living let's phrase like a double life here. So I grew up conservative Christian, and most of my friends are conservative if they're not Christians. But the last year or so, I've been in the BDSM community where I live.
I gotta say, I don't know if you mentioned
this.
this already, but you said that you are a trucker in Alaska?
Yeah.
You are part of a BDSM community in Alaska.
I am, yeah.
It's too cold for BDSM over there.
It is, yeah. Well, I'm currently in Washington for the winter for exactly that reason.
So, I mean, so there are clubs in Alaska, there's like dungeons in Alaska where people go to tie each other up and fuck each other?
Yeah, pretty much. It's less of the big, I think, I haven't been to any, but I think in bigger cities, they just have open clubs all the time where you can just kind of go in and do the BDSM stuff. But here it's more of a public, normal meetings, just the meet and greet, and then people have private parties and stuff once you're at the point where you're trustworthy and everything and you find somebody you want to play with.
So you are, do you still identify as a conservative Christian?
Yeah.
Interesting. Does conservative Christian values and BDSM shit, do they conflict?
Yeah, they're pretty much on opposite ends of the spectrum for the most part. But I'm kind of I don't know, I can see both points of view. So depending on which group of people I'm with at any given time, I just kind of find myself agreeing with whatever.
All right, let's say you're thinking. With, I would love to hear your perspective on BDSM sex from as a conservative Christian.
Okay. Well, I like that you can just kind of relax. So I am more often than not identify as a submissive. So it's kind of nice to let somebody else take control, I would say. And it's less, there's not actually that much sex in the play I was doing. It's more like, beatings and tying people up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that God doesn't want you to tie people up and spank them on the ass?
Yeah, I would say that. To a point, anyways. I think the biggest conflict is not so much the actual... Well, it's kind of the actual act, now that I think about it.
Why do you think God doesn't like that? What is it about it that bothers him?
I think that it's a gateway to more hedonistic behavior in your day-to-day life, which, in my opinion, it's good in doses, but I think it leads to a mindset where you're prioritizing your personal physical pleasures over other more important things in your life, to the point where where it becomes almost an addiction of like, I have to be feeling good all of the time, or I can't function.
Do you feel like you neglect important things in your life to feel good?
Yeah. I try not to do that all the time, but that's definitely something I struggle with.
What's something recently that you feel like you neglected to get whipped?
Well, putting my one group of friends on hold for one thing, because, the two don't really mesh, so I kind of distance myself from the people I love and care about a lot to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I get another group of people.
Tell me about these friends in both groups.
So the older friends, and it's not like a group of like super hardcore Christians. We're like, we hate the other group, but it's just more of a core value type of thing. Most of them don't actually go to a church that kind of like me, where they grew up Christian and now they're just conservative, other than one friend that I have who's basically the perfect Christian, in my opinion.
What makes him the perfect Christian?
He just has the ability to get along with people, even if he doesn't agree with what they stand for, and he just has an amazing way of it's hard to describe. Like, he'll just put himself, or put others before himself in all situations, but he's able to maintain a balance of, like, not just being a pushover at the same time, which is something I would like to be able to do, but I kind of go one way or the other. I'm either doing whatever anybody says, or I get into an unhealthy mindset where I just get tired of being pushed around, and then I don't look out for anybody except myself, and then I kind of go back and forth between those two mindsets.
It's very interesting, because nothing of what you've told me so far has really been anything about God. It's just about, like, personal human values. Yeah,
I would agree with that. I'm not a hard practicing Christian, I would say, or a hardcore Christian. I go to church occasionally, but it's, I don't know, it's more about the community of people that I'm around.
Now, do your conservative Christian friends know about your BDSM life?
Some of them do, yeah.
Okay. Why do you feel like there's a conflict?
Well, the main conflict actually comes from the other end of things with the BDSM community, because I'm not out as a conservative, because, you know, they're kind of conflicting, and I don't judge people for what they do. I just vote differently than them. But over there, at least in our community, any mention of being conservative or Christian or anything like that, they don't like it at all. They kind of gang up on people.
You don't want
where everybody,
You don't want your BDSM friends to know that that you voted for Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Well, You're a peculiar little cookie.
Yeah, I've been told that a few times.
So, I mean, like, tell me, okay, so I feel like I learned a little bit about your Christian friends. Tell me more about your BDSM friends.
So, my now ex, but until recently, my girlfriend was actually one of the community leaders who hosts parties and events and meet and greets and stuff like that.
What happened?
We just had different outlooks on what the future could bring, I guess. We started as it was a polyamorous relationship, so she already had a long-term partner. And going into it, I didn't know if I'd like it or not, doing the polyamory thing. Then it turned out that I didn't like it. Mm-hmm. So that was the main reason. But when we started, she and her long-term partner were just partners, and then all of a sudden one day she just dropped the ball that they were getting married, which didn't really sit well with me. So I kind of broke it off.
What is it that draws you to the sort of alternative lifestyle polyamory BDSM community?
It's fun. And everybody, there's a lot of naked people, so that's always enjoyable.
You know what? I guess it doesn't have to really be deeper than that.
Yeah, that's That's the main part of it.
Okay.
And everybody's just really happy.
What draws you to Donald Trump and the conservative stuff?
I think because having more conservative values is what I want to focus on in my day-to-day life, and just the direction that I think personally that, I don't have all the answers, but the direction I think personally that the values we should be focusing on and the direction the country should go. So I guess I kind of view that as like my, my blue collar day-to-day mindset, and then the BDSM stuff is like on the weekends to decide.
Now, what do you consider to be? How would you define those values? Those values that you would like to see more of?
Just more of a. I had all the answers to that until you asked me that question, and now I have to think about it. I guess some of it is like financially. I think the conservative lifestyle makes more sense to me.
Financially?
Yeah, just I'm terrible at explaining.
Do you it's okay if you don't have an answer to this question, but
okay, yeah, I don't have an answer.
Okay, well, can I say something?
Yeah.
If you don't have an answer to this question, like maybe like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what is all of this stuff even coming from? Is this just like an identity that you've built that you haven't really taken a second to reconsider or think more deeply about?
Yeah, I would say that's at least part of it, because that's how I grew up, so it's a core part of my identity.
Okay, this core part of your identity. And this is a genuine question. I'm not trying to look. I'm not here to fucking tell anybody to do anything. But this core part of your identity, does it continue to serve you well in your life? I'm not saying you need to have the answer to that question immediately, but it's something to think about.
Yeah. I would say that it does, in terms of it drives me. It's one of the things that motivates me and drives me to keep going forward in the way that I want to live my life, in terms of looking to the future, in terms of where I want to be in like 5 or 10 years career-wise, and how I want to go about starting a family one day, I suppose.
I mean, this is a funny thing, because you're just talking about self-improvement. You're just talking about personal values. You're not even really talking about God or about politics or any of this stuff. You're really just talking about, like I said, personal values and self-improvement.
Yeah.
So why do you?
Part of that's because I don't want to piss anybody off that's listening. Or, I don't know. I guess I don't want to talk about it, because a lot of the time when I start talking about it, I get called a bigot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think you do, but you'll do. But I guess that's part of my hesitation why I'm not really used to talking about it.
So then when I asked you these questions before, were you not answering them because you were afraid to talk about it, or because you genuinely didn't have an answer?
A little bit of both. A little bit of not wanting to talk about it, a little bit of brain fart.
Okay. Well, again, I'll leave it at the question of whether or not these things continue to serve you, and only you can really answer that question. But it's worth thinking about.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if you're entering all these different communities and universes and trying to find a universe that makes you feel happy to exist in. You know what I'm saying? A little bit?
Yeah.
Did you storm the Capitol on January 6th?
No, I did not.
Okay. Paul. Well, let's see. Paul, is there anything else I should know about you, or anything else you want to talk about in this scenario? In this conversation?
No, I guess not. Just yeah, great show.
Paul, I want you to. You know what, Paul? I want to challenge you. I actually think that you should start the first Christian BDSM club. I really do. I really want to challenge you to think deeply about whether or not your values truly are as in conflict with one another as you think they are. Because, look, if you found out that there was a Christian BDSM club, I mean, you'd be the first one in line in the morning. So there's others like you out there. So throw it out there. You know, you could be on the cusp of something beautiful. Who knows?
Something great, you know.
I mean, just imagine. I mean, by the way, nothing kinkier than getting nailed to a cross.
That is true.
You could say Jesus was the first. That could be cool. You could have a Jesus nailed to the cross with the gimp mask on, and you're whipping him. Dude, you should do. All right, if you don't do this, I'm gonna do this. So,
You're gonna do
I
that?
look forward.
Oh well, when you do that, I'll be the first one on the door.
Paul, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Nope. Other than just thanks for having me. If nothing else, it felt good to talk about it to somebody. You know, it's not really a problem I can talk about out loud to most people.
Take care, Paul. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks, Lyle.
It's perfect, man. The symbol for Christianity is a BDSM sex position. Getting nailed to a cross and whipped and fucked and jizzed on. It's an idea. It's an idea.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
Hi, who's this?
This is the Gecko guy from the internet.
Oh my god, Lyle, what up, man?
What's up, dude? What's your name?
My name is Devin. How are you?
Devin, I'm good. Have we ever spoken before?
We have. I got engaged at your Portland live show.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, homie. What's
Damn.
up?
Yeah, dude. Holy shit, I remember that.
Yeah. My fiance, son, and I are just playing Fortnite. I'll put it on pause.
Well, how are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thank you. Yeah. I doing good. How are you?
Tell me more about that now. I'm trying to remember. This is at Mississippi Studios. It was in Portland.
Yeah. So, we ended up going to the Mississippi Studios. It was funny because we actually had VIP tickets and we had no idea where to go because we were buying drinks. And like last second, I had it all planned out and I was like, I'm going to text Lyle. I'm going to ask if I can go up on stage. And you texted me back and you're like, let's do it. And then like it all hit and it was super real. And I was like, oh God. And then I got up there and you had a Jewish leather daddy that just converted to Judaism. And after the show, he asked if he could marry us and officiate us.
Wait, really?
And yeah, really.
Did he?
Yeah, like right before. No. We're friends on Instagram.
Yeah, I wouldn't have let him do that either.
I'll be real. He's actually invited, man. He's a cool dude.
Wait, really? Wait, that's so cool. By the way, I didn't say that to be mean to that guy. I was just trying to be funny.
No.
For context, for the context of people listening, I mean, I guess I'm not going to add any further context with what I'm about to say, but yeah, there was this dude in like all leather, like BDSM gear who came up on stage to talk about converting to Judaism, which was the most random thing a guy dressed like that could have possibly talked about. and he was one of the people that came up on stage that night, and then there was you and your fiance, and so you just started hanging out with that guy after the show, and now he's invited to your wedding?
Yeah. So we actually started talking on Instagram, and like he's super cool, and strangely he knows like a couple of my friends. I live further south, like near Eugene, if anyone's in Oregon. And he knows quite a few people that I know, and I'm like, oh wow, what a small world.
That's
cool.
cool, man.
So,
goddamn.
Yeah.
Wow. So also I was curious about this because is your wife, was she a fan of the show, or was she like, why the fuck did you pick this Gecko Guys live show to do this at?
So it's actually really funny. I used to work at Office Depot, and one of my associates always had his Spotify on, and your podcast always popped up, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? And finally, like, I quit the job, and I reached out to him, and I was like, hey, there's this dude. I'm looking for, like, new podcasts, and he was dressed as a gecko, and he's like, Therapy Gecko. I was like, cool. So I started listening to you, and I was working nights, and one day I had it open, and she happened to listen to it through my phone.
Yeah.
And she was like, wow, he's really funny. And then you started popping up on our algorithm, and we just kind of got hooked, man. We were like, you're super great. You really help people. Yeah, and like her mom listens now, and my mom listens.
All right, cool. So
she's
oh, your grandma listens. All right, I'll say cunt less.
Nah. You're good.
All right, she both, you guys are both into the podcast. All right, that's cool, man. That's cool. How's everything going?
Yeah.
Or how's being married? Is it exactly the same as before?
No, actually, it's pretty awesome. Like, I had started not really a new job, but like a new location. And when I was introducing myself to the team, I was like, hey, I'm married, instead of being like, yeah, I got this girlfriend back home. It is what it is, you know.
It's nice.
So it kind of feels a little better, you know, a little more air of relief. But like, yeah, it's nice. So
did the leather guy try to convert you to Judaism? Like, was he trying to get you to have a Jewish wedding?
No, but I've been dabbling my feet. I've been kind of looking at Judaism, and I'm like,
yeah,
this is kind of interesting, you know.
Really? Okay, what's catching your interest?
Honestly, so where I live, there's a huge sense of community, and I'm like, that's something that's really cool compared to like all the different sects of like Christianity, you know, like just all these different runs of people that are like, I'm Mormon, or I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, nah, we're Jewish, and we're hanging out, we're having really good times together and just keeping it real. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting to me. So.
Yeah, I feel like growing up, I always felt like like Mormons and Christians, they were always trying to like get folks. But Jews, we're not really out there. We're not knocking on doors, you know.
No. No. I grew up in a town full of Jehovah's Witnesses, and most of them were on our doorstep every weekend.
Yeah, that's what in our culture we would call a whole thing. Anyway, all right. So, you know what? You texted me, Devin, and you. This is why I called you. You texted me because you said you wanted to talk about Christmas versus Hanukkah movies. What does that mean?
Yeah. So I actually wanted to ask you what you think is the worst Christmas movie or special versus the worst Hanukkah movie / special. And I can't really think of very many.
There's not that many.
I mean, there's like the Rugrats.
I was literally about to say there's the Rugrats. I don't know what dude is Jewish from the Rugrats that made that happen, but yeah, there's the Rugrats. Well, the Rugrats have a Hanukkah one, and the Rugrats did all the Jewish stuff because they got a Hanukkah one and a Passover one.
Yeah.
Too.
The Passover one rocks.
Yeah, what else?
8 Crazy Nights, Adam Sandler.
I actually have never seen that movie, but I remember wanting to watch it as a kid, and my mom wouldn't let me.
We watched it last night with our son. He's 9. I feel like it's okay. It's a great movie. It's Adam Sandler at his finest.
I don't know if I have a worst Christmas movie. I have a best one. I have my favorite one.
Let's hear it. Lay it on me.
The Polar Express, of course.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
No way, Lyle.
Yeah. A lot. Apparently,
my grandma's favorite movie.
That's your favorite movie?
Favorite Christmas movie. That's our favorite Christmas movie together. We watch it every year together.
Fuck your fiance, dude. Why don't we get married then?
Dude, what up?
Let's do it.
We could do this. Let's do it.
I like, the Polar Express is a great movie because it really is like, it's one night. It's this beautiful, cozy town. There's like horror elements. The girl doesn't have her ticket, so the conductor takes her out to murder her, but you find out he doesn't murder her. He just gives her hot chocolate. The hot chocolate in the movie, it looks so good. What else? I mean, it's a beautiful. Everyone in the movie just makes you want to cry the whole time because it's like a nice old. It's just a bunch of nice old guys. The conductor and the
you have all those really nice people just together on one train, and it's like, man, that's magic right there.
Of all the people I would be most disappointed to find out as a pedophile, it would definitely be the conductor of the Polar Express.
What about the kid with the glasses? The weird little nasally kid. What if he grew up and was a pedophile? It'd be pretty gross.
Him, I don't know. I don't care about him and his fictional life at all.
Hey, man, I also had another question.
Yeah.
Just because I'm looking at something right now. What do you think about Arnold Schwarzenegger's Turbo Man?
I don't know what that is.
Like Jingle All the Way.
I don't know what that is.
Really?
No.
So it's a movie about Arnold Schwarzenegger dressing up as like a Power Ranger superhero guy and saving his kid at a parade. It's got Sinbad in it. He's a postman that really wants to blow people up.
Yeah, I think
it's a Christmas movie.
I think I would probably rather watch a YouTube video about 7 things you missed in the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer than watch that.
I mean, that's fair. I could see that.
What's the best Hanukkah movie? There's no Hanukkah. There's not a big market for Hanukkah movies. I don't think that it's.
Why not?
Well, because there's like 2 Jewish people.
That's fair. Well, I mean, they made movies about like I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of like any good Hanukkah movies. I know there's like a few specials, but
I don't even think there's a few. I can only name. So far we've only named 2 Hanukkah media.
That's true. We should make a push for that. You want to make a Hanukkah movie?
That's a whole thing.
Well, it is a whole thing.
What else?
You could teach me about Hanukkah.
You sound like you know more about fucking Hanukkah than I do, man.
Nah, dude. I'm only learning what I know from a dude up in Portland that wears leather.
Yeah, that guy definitely knows a thing. That guy probably has a crazy Hanukkah. That leather guy, he probably lights all the candles of the menorah and then uses it to burn the fuck out of his back in like a crazy. He probably drips menorah candle wax in his asshole.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, probably.
I know that, like, Grinch porn is a thing.
What's Grinch porn? Oh, like Rule 34, like porn of the Grinch?
No. So my fiance used to work at the adult shop, and they sell Grinch costumes, like the Green Grinch guy. And people dress up as the Grinch and do that stuff. Totally
well, I guess that's not any weirder than having sex in a gecko costume.
That's fair. How many times have you done it in the gecko costume?
What's your name again?
You don't have to tell me. My name's Devin, but you don't have to tell me.
Devin. Whose kid is the kid? Is it a kid that you guys had together, or is it like a stepchild?
He is my stepson.
Oh, cool, man. What?
Yeah.
Is he like full time with you guys, or does he see like his other dad, or is it just you two raising him together?
Just us, which is pretty cool. I mean,
that is pretty cool.
Yeah. He definitely full time He's full-time here and 100% ours. So, likes all the
That's
same
awesome.
stuff we do, and yeah.
Do you guys have a
But-
Christmas tree up?
We do.
What's
After
your
the call, I
favorite-
can send you a picture of it.
What's your favorite ornament on the tree?
Right now, so we had this, like, I'm looking at one of our tiny trees. We have a rainbow one. It's got a little, like, star on top, but on top of the star, it's got a wizard hat and a beard. That one's probably my favorite right now.
That's pretty cool.
man.
Do you guys Bro, that's so cool that you made friends with that leather guy and that he's gonna be at your wedding. I'm stoked about that.
Yeah.
I love that kind of I love that kind of shit. I've met I did a show in Japan and I met this couple a few shows later. I forget which country I was in, but there was the couple. It was like these two people who came to my Japan show together, came to one of my shows in this other country, and I was like, "Oh shit, I remember you guys." And they were like, "Yeah, we're together now. We met at your show." And I think that's happened a few times where people like will meet at the show and like become friends and do all this shit. So that I think that's hella cool. So I'm glad that you're friends with. Does he have a name? I keep calling him Jewish Leather Guy. I feel like I should call him his name.
I don't remember. I just look at his picture on Instagram. I'm like, hey, I know you. We met another person.
On Instagram, does he have a bunch of pictures of him in like leather? Does he have a picture of himself with a leather kippah?
I believe so, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yes. I think it was posted a couple of days ago. I'll have to look
really
again.
funny.
It's been a minute.
That's really funny.
We were shopping a few weeks after your show, and someone that we had also met in line to talk to you with worked at a local store, and they were like, hey, I know you. And I'm like, excuse you? Who are you? And they're like, you're at Therapy Gecko. We talked in line.
Oh, cool.
I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, man. You don't remember me? I was like, I'm sorry, I don't. I really don't. I wanted to do a shout out if she's listening, her and her fiance or husband or boyfriend or whoever. I'm really sorry that I forgot who you were.
It's all right. I forget people all the time. And, it's fine. People get upset. And then you just, you live your life. You go eat a sandwich.
Hey, I had a question also. Another one. I'm sorry.
What's up?
How do you deal with, all these people that are just so upset all the time?
Upset at me?
No, just, upset in general. Sometimes on your show you have a lot of happy people, and then you get, a lot of sad people that are just, existential and really rough. And I'm like, hey, man, why? Let's just chill.
Bro, I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot lately because we've had a lot of crazy calls like that. And, dude, I don't know. I think I just at this point, I feel like I'm showing up to, this, I'm showing up to work. I'm doing the thing. This is what I do. This is the show. And sometimes it's a little bit, more dense than others, and at the end of the day, I think that having these dense conversations and having a regular window into that kind of stuff, and a window into the way that people are feeling, even if those feelings are negative, I think that's a helpful thing for me. I hope it's a helpful thing for the people that are listening. And so even on the days where I'm just like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this shit, we do it, and we sell t-shirts.
Hey man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty noble, honestly. I sell coffee all day, and my highlights are besides coming home, just telling people I hope this makes you feel better today. Whereas, you're able to actually give them full-on advice, and the chat is awesome all the time. So thank you as well. I think that's cool. I think you guys do a really cool thing, and I'm glad to be a part of that community. So,
Devin, man, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
I do. Stop making your drink order so complicated. We don't like it.
All right, I'll stop.
Everyone. No.
I just like a little bit of almond milk. That's it. I just like almond milk.
Just a quarter spoon of almond milk.
Just a quarter spoon of
I
almond
got
milk.
you.
That'll work for me. Hey, thank you for the kind words, Devin. It means a lot. And mazel tov to you and your family. Take care, man.
Hey, happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas, guys.
Take care, dude.
Bye.
We could do a Hanukkah movie. We could do a Hanukkah movie. I could do the how the Gek stole Hanukkah. I like that. It's just me shoving candles up my ass. Hello, folks. It's Lyle here. That's the end of this episode. But get this. I'm releasing a bonus episode this week. That's right. An entire extra hour of the podcast that you can listen to by becoming a premium member of Therapy Gecko over at therapygecko.supercast.com. Supercast subscribers get access to bonus episodes. They get a completely ad-free podcast feed of the regular show. They get recordings from my live shows, members-only streams, and they help support my ability to continue doing this podcast. So here's a clip from this week's members-only bonus episode. You texted me and you said, I'd like to talk about how I came for the first time the day that my grandfather died.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, obviously my grandpa died. Whatever happens.
Wait, hold on. This happened a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, he died on October 28th.
You came for the first time a couple weeks ago?
Listen. There's some backstory to this, okay? There's backstory to this. Okay?
All right, I'm listening. If you want to hear this full conversation, you can sign up to become a premium member at therapygecko.supercast.com or find the link in the episode description. That's therapygecko.supercast.com. All right, I have nothing else to say.